What if your anxiety isn't a malfunction but a final alarm from a soul being suffocated? What if numbness, disconnection, and despair are not personal failings but symptoms of a world fundamentally unfit for human life? The man we call the Unabomber once wrote, "The system does not and cannot exist to satisfy human needs." Was he insane, or was he one of the few willing to tell us what we didn't want to hear? We live in an age of infinite choice yet feel increasingly powerless. Surrounded by convenience, we struggle to find meaning. We swipe, scroll, consume yet feel empty. Life feels more like simulation than reality. We were told technology would set us free. But instead of liberation, many feel suffocated by invisible systems, algorithms, bureaucracy, screens that never turn off. We chase goals we didn't choose, follow paths we didn't question, and lose ourselves in noise. There's a silent epidemic of emotional exhaustion, a low hum of discontent. Many secretly wonder, why does life feel like this? And deeper still, was it always supposed to? Ted Kaczynski, Harvard graduate, math prodigy, domestic terrorist, also left behind one of the most haunting critiques of modern life. In Industrial Society and Its Future, he argued that industrial civilization had become a machine that consumes human autonomy. He claimed that as technological systems grow, human freedom shrinks. The system has to regulate human behavior closely in order to function, he wrote. And once you give up freedom in one area, the surrender spreads. Kaczynski identified a condition he called surrogate activity syndrome. In pre-industrial life, people fulfilled their psychological needs through survival tasks: hunting, building, providing. Now, those needs are redirected into artificial pursuits: career prestige, online attention, consumer success. He warned that these surrogate goals give the illusion of purpose, but starve us of real fulfillment. The more the system solves our problems for us, the less we experience the dignity of solving anything ourselves. It's a grim diagnosis, but one that eerily mirrors modern mental health statistics. Perhaps the scariest part of Kaczynski's writing isn't that it's radical, but that it feels true. At the heart of Kaczynski's thought is a jarring realization: human suffering in modern life isn't a bug. It's a feature. We were not built for this world. Not for concrete boxes, constant noise, or lives run by machines. We were built to feel the world, to bleed, strive, hunt, build, protect, nurture. Without real struggle, the psyche withers. He wrote, "To avoid serious psychological problems, a human being needs goals whose attainment requires effort, and he must succeed in attaining some of his goals." The modern system, he believed, strips us of this primal dignity and replaces it with artificial victories, digital rewards, and the illusion of control. But this realization can become a turning point. The pain we feel isn't weakness. It may be the last ember of our humanness still burning, still resisting. So how do we reclaim our minds without retreating into madness? Kaczynski believed in something called the power process, a natural human rhythm: set goal, exert effort, achieve result. Modern life disrupts this rhythm. It gives us prepackaged goals and frictionless satisfaction, but removes effort, struggle, and meaning. The antidote? Reintroduce friction into your life. Seek out activities that require physicality, presence, patience. Cook from scratch. Walk long distances. Build something with your hands. These aren't hobbies. They are acts of psychological restoration. Second, detach from systems that automate your thinking. Algorithms train your desires. Notifications hijack your attention. Reclaim your mind like stolen land. Unplug. Journal. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, which parts of my life feel real? Which feel programmed? Third, cultivate purposeful discomfort. Let struggle return not as punishment but as revival. Do something difficult every day, something your ancestors would have respected. Freedom begins at the edge of comfort. That's where the real self waits. You don't need to live in a cabin to reclaim your soul. You need to choose reality over convenience, one moment at a time. Block an hour of silence each day. Use your hands more than your apps. Question every system that promises ease at the cost of awareness. Resist automation not because machines are evil but because they cannot love, cry, or dream for you. Look around. Anxiety is rising. Depression is rampant. Attention is fractured. This is not just a personal issue, it's cultural, systemic, existential. The revolution isn't out there. It starts inside you. Every time you choose intention over impulse, you step away from the machine and back toward being human. To wrestle with Kaczynski's philosophy is to enter dangerous terrain because it forces us to separate the truth of an idea from the actions of the man who spoke it. Kaczynski committed horrific violence. He killed. He destroyed lives. This cannot be excused ever. But can a criminal still offer insight into the sickness of the world? Can a broken voice still name a deeper fracture? It's uncomfortable but vital to sit with this tension. To ask, what truths are so unbearable that only an outcast dared to say them? And if those truths resonate, does that say more about him or about us? Engaging with this philosophy doesn't mean endorsing his methods. It means having the courage to confront what polite society refuses to touch, the soul-crushing machinery of modern life and our silent complicity in it. In rejecting the violence, we must not reject the question. In a world that demands speed, choosing slowness is rebellion. In a culture that sells distraction, focus is an act of defiance. Every time you reclaim your attention, your breath, your presence, you resist. This isn't about dropping out of society. It's about waking up within it, refusing to be numbed by noise, refusing to let the machine digest your spirit. Read physical books. Walk without headphones. Speak face to face. Be bored. Be still. Let yourself ache. Let yourself feel wonder. The revolution isn't a protest. It's not a manifesto. It's in the moment you stop scrolling and start thinking. It's when you look another human in the eyes and remember, we are not algorithms. We are not inputs. We are not products. We are human, fragile, fierce, free. Your rebellion begins the moment you remember that and refuse to forget again. The Unabomber's life was twisted by violence, but his question still hangs over us. Can humans remain human in a technological society? You feel tired because your soul remembers something real, something ancient, something free. That ache inside you may be your last connection to a world we've forgotten, a world not made by man, but meant for man. Don't numb it. Listen to it. Follow it. It might just lead you back to yourself. If this spoke to something deep and you don't just click away, share your thoughts. Leave a comment. This isn't just a channel, it's a quiet rebellion. Subscribe if you're ready to challenge the system, reclaim your mind, and reconnect with what it truly means to be human. Let's awaken together.